Good morning or afternoon or evening, whenever you're watching this. I'm going to try something different because I cannot seem to get the size of this video right when I do all the fancy editing. So I'm going to try it without adding any still shots, and then I may um, try to add things in one at a time to see, because when I did the raw footage of the last video as a test, it worked fine. The size was fine. But then after I added my little still shots and musics and all that kind of stuff, all of a sudden it was small again. So let's try this without adding all the goodies. So at least you guys are watching a full size video. Um, now, I did start cutting these sheets of paper up before I started recording, and then I thought, oh, I should make a video. So when you first saw the video start, you can see I have this paper, this pink kind of watercolory type paper, is my 12 by 12. And then I have there was a complimentary kind of a turquoise or teal, not teal's not right, light blue turquoisey color that I trimmed to create a vertical band. And it was the same pattern, it was just a different color. I had already trimmed that, and then I got this 4 by 6 journaling card that had this 1 year, 12 months, 52 weeks. It's just a way to, basically say the amount of time in a year. And I had that out. And then I had pulled out that today journaling card and had set all that aside to start working on the layout. And I thought, oh, I need to record this. This will be fun. Um, Now I've decided I've also got a sketch I showed you at the very beginning, or I had written it out. Um, and I'm working from that. It's on a notepad off to the side there. And so you'll notice that there's a little vertical border that I've punched out using my little scallop punch. And now I'm putting my journaling card attached to my photograph, and then my other little journaling card. I don't know if they're journaling cards when they've already got stuff on them, but anyway, it's a 4 by 6 decorative card there to create this L background. This photograph is of me and my husband down in San Antonio on the Riverwalk. There's a little bit of fence there where people have put locks. I think there's a space over in Europe somewhere that they've done that, and I don't recall exactly where it is, but it's this whole love lock thing. And anyway, we're standing there, and it was like, oh, let's take this cute picture. And then I kind of decided at some point, I don't know what made me do this, but I looked up, I was wondering, I think I saw something on Facebook, and it was somebody had made some comment about how many days something had happened or whatever. And there's an app online. I just went looking online, and I said, I wonder how many days it's been since my husband and I started dating. Um, Actually, I apologize. No, since we got married. So it was 2000 and that's a lie. It was 1991. I think I'm way younger than I am. Anyway, we got married in 91. And anyway, I wondered how many days it was. And I got inspired to make a layout about the number of days that we have been together. Obviously, that changes daily, but at the time I, you know, decided to do this, it was 11,359, I think it is. You'll see it in the title. So anyway, at the moment I'm actually now going through, and the sketch had these circles, and I do have this very old Creative Memories punch that has two circle sizes that do nest perfectly. So I decided to cut out pattern papers from my scraps to create these circles. And I'm using the two different sizes so I can mat it in white and then put the pattern paper on top of the larger circle. And I'm liking how that's turning out. And sorry, the light is actually kind of inadvertently covering my face in the photograph. It's not intentional. It's just for me to be able to see in the mornings. Um, I do decide then I'm going to ink all the edges with this Distress ink. I think it's a Distress Oxide in gray. And don't ask me what color gray. I'm sure it's like smoke or something. But just to soften the edges, I want them to kind of feel like they're finished. So I do go along an edge of all the papers with this gray. Now you can kind of see that pink paper background a little bit better, where it's this kind of ombre. Like I said, it looks almost like paint, or I want to use the word watercolor because I don't know if it's watercolor, but it's this painted look. And then you can see the light blue or the turquoise is the same pattern. It's just a different color. And I thought that was really pretty. Okay, and I'm inking that scalloped edge there. Yeah, my husband and I have been together a really long time. I don't think about it too much. And then um, because I don't think I'm all that old. I'm really not that old, right? And then I think about how many years, and it's like, holy cow, we are getting on up there. But I kind of look forward to getting old with him. It's kind of cool. I think about, these couples you see sometimes, they've been together, 60 years, and I honestly look forward to being one of those couples. I think it'll be cool. I expect a huge party too. I've told my daughter, you better give me a big party because your daddy's he can be a challenge. He's very high maintenance in the sense of he's a definitely a type A personality. So, um, anyways, he's good though. I don't want to make out like he's not, but anyway, he's just high. But on the other hand, I've been told I'm high maintenance, so maybe that's fair. I shouldn't say high maintenance. That's not the right way to say that. It's not like we need a lot of stuff. It's just it's constant movement. And then my daughter, bless her heart, she's inherited that as well. We call her the redheaded tornado. She comes home. It's just nonstop. We're constantly doing something, getting into something, or I don't know. We're just doing something. Okay, now I've adhered down the vertical stripes there, and I'm just trimming off the little extra goobers that sometimes happen if you're not perfectly aligned when you glue stuff down. And then, of course, whenever you make a little tiny little cut, sometimes you end up with those extras, um, little hairs of paper that need to get a little trim. So I'm giving that a little haircut, a little shave there. And you'll notice, and you can kind of see there where those patterns align with the little wishy stripe stuff. Okay, now I'm laying down my photograph and my little L there, and I like where that looks. I really love that journaling card. I thought that was so appropriate for the title that I'm fixing to put on here. And then, of course, the whole today thing is just, again, it's just kind of harkening back to the fact that the difference between um, the day we got married and the day I guess I took the photograph, I think. Okay, now I'm going to go through my pattern papers here and pick the little scraps that I think are going to look good on these circles. And the first one, I think it says something like love or adore or something. It's like black and white text paper. And of course, I have to go through, but then I don't want to do like a whole 12 by 12, right? So I have to find something I've already snipped into. That looked kind of cool with the little viewfinder thing with the heart in the middle. Looks a little bit like lace, kind of, after I punched it out with a hole. Then there's the music. Music has nothing to do with it. I just thought it was pretty. And of course, I'm skimming through here. That piece of paper right there is kind of cool because there are varying patterns on that same sheet. But all right, and then I brought in that green again that was in that scallop punched border. Um, I'm going to glue all these down, and then I do end up popping up some of them. I wanted a little bit of different dimension on the various different ones. So after I get these glued down, you'll notice that I put up or put some of them on foam tape. I don't know if it's foam tape. Yeah, I guess it's foam tape. I use foam tape. And I'll create like a little up and down visual thing. I think that looks so cute. I mean, honestly, is the photograph the best? I wouldn't suggest it's the best. I mean, it's not like I look all that great. I've got the whole elbow thing going on, um, trying to, make myself look better. But, and he's okay. He's kind of leaned over toward me, so he looks a little scrunchy, but that's okay. I think it's kind of cute. And I don't actually do the journaling on camera, but I'll add a little bit of journaling on that today card there, which is the point of it, obviously. Okay, so I've decided, okay, I'm good with all of that, and now I need to put my foam tape. And I think I've mentioned to you guys before, I'll cut it off camera because I put this big roll. I have like a big roll, and I put it in my lap, and I cut from this roll while it's in my lap. So that's why you don't see me actually cutting the foam tape or getting the foam tape. And guys, I'm so sorry that I can't seem to get this technology. I don't know what is wrong. I am not technology good. I just get really, I think honestly it's because it takes a long time to upload and download and all that. And I'm not gonna say I lose interest. It's not really that. I just can't sit here for 7 hours letting things upload and download while I test it. So sometimes when I run my little video tests, I'll stick, 3 seconds or 10 seconds of video on YouTube and think, okay, that looks good. And then, like I said, after I get done doing all my fancy things and I've spent, I wouldn't say hours or anything like that, but I've spent a little bit of time on putting my stills and stuff like that in there. And then I do all the download uploads, which does take a couple hours. And it's like, dadgummit, that didn't work right. And I am not going back to figure out why. It's just you're getting what you're getting, right? I do intend to, though, as I'm working through this stuff to figure out why, the size is wrong. So I really appreciate any of you that are watching that continue to watch while I mumble and bumble through this technology stuff. I really appreciate it because I know it can be frustrating. I watch a lot of YouTube videos and I mean, I get a little mentally annoyed if something's not right or whatever. And you know what, Christine, get over it. Now you know the now you know the challenges behind it. At the moment, I'll tell you in a second of something else, but at the moment I'm looking for a title and I want to use some letters, and I pulled out two different sticker sheets here. This is from this collection name is Creative Agenda and Capture Life. Technically, that's two different collections, but the colors just go so well together that um, I've stored them together because I think they just look good together. So I know the title is what I'm going to do is like the number of days and counting. Um, I'm using my little wax paper thing here. So I'm spelling out the and counting because that's the biggest stuff at the bottom. So what I wanted to say is I'm going to go as, this whole YouTube thing. Well, I thought, oh, I'll start this YouTube channel. And I might have been annoyed with somebody who had some kind of technology thing. And it's not like I would ever comment on it. I think that's terribly rude. I mean, if somebody's doing work, if you don't like it, scroll on or whatever. Um, but at the same time, I might have been a little judgy in my head. Um, my daughter used to play competitive soccer, and I don't know if I've mentioned that. I think I have because there's a Emmett Smith video. But anyway, she played competitive soccer, and I remember before she played, I had never played before. I really never even played a sport. Like my husband had done some stuff, but I was just not that. I was the band geek and all that, so I didn't do any of that. And we would get so critical. Like she would go to kick the ball and like miss or whatever, and it was like, oh, she had a bad game, blah blah blah. And when she was maybe like 12, I want to say, my husband and I decided, oh, we're going to play recreational. We'll play co-ed recreational soccer just for fun, right? We're going to get out there and just do it for fun. And I got out there and I go to kick the ball and just completely miss it. And I mean, I have literally no athletic ability, y'all. I'm just not good at anything. I don't have hand-eye coordination. I try really hard, maybe I can run, but even that I fall down almost every time. It's just almost sad. But I remember playing that co-ed soccer and not doing very well and realizing, oh my gosh, this is way harder than I thought. I don't think I ever fussed at my daughter again after our season playing co-ed soccer. And we played a couple seasons and we really enjoyed it, but I was not good. So yeah, I never yelled at her again about effort maybe because you could see when somebody's being a little bit lazy, like not running or something. But generally, I did not yell at her for just missing a kick or a pass or whatever. It's like, this is way harder than it looks. So that's kind of how I feel about this YouTube thing. Like I'm looking at these people's videos and I'm thinking, oh, why do you have this going on? And now I'm going, this is way harder than it looks. So I really appreciate all you guys out there that make those YouTube videos and they actually look pretty good because I'm not making mine look too good. So again, thank you guys for watching and putting up with my fumbling and bumbling here. Okay, so you can kind of see I've gone through the title. At the moment, it says days and counting. And so now I need to find the numbers. And I cut that out because I don't know. I guess I was digging around through a box or something. But it's 11,359. And it was those foam thickers, one of those sets that I cut out or used. And I kind of made a little comma. And now what I'm deciding to do, I'm going to make little clusters of things. So I'm looking through all of my embellishments and going, okay, what's going to kind of make sense? I wanted little hearts. I wanted little cameras. Um, I don't recall now if this part's on the sketch because I seem to be kind of moving these around, and I would think if it were on my sketch that weren't the case. So I think I'm just looking for stuff that I would like to put on here, and you'll see I'm just kind of actually it's interesting. This is before I created an embellishment binder. So if you see later videos or there's videos I've made that may have been later, and I've got them in a binder. This is all before that, so these are still on like their little acetate sheets. Um, Anyway, so I start to lay down these little hearts and cameras and things, and that's not going to be where those end up. In my head, I'm going, okay, make these little clusters up here. I actually end up moving it to the bottom, and I really like how it turned out because this start. Oh, there's my cat. You guys, Saturn. She definitely likes to be in the middle of everything, so she's my little helper. Although inevitably she'll end up sitting directly on something I'm working on. I don't know. She's a little stinker. Why do all cats do that? I don't know. Okay, so I've decided I don't like where that's going. I don't like where those are at. They look weird. But I want them on there. So where do I want to put it? So I'm moving it around, moving it around, moving it around. Um, then I decide, you know what, that's not going to be a little speech. It was kind of a speech bubble heart thing. It is made out of cork too. That's a really cool part. It's made out of cork, real thin cork. And I started to put it there. I don't actually think it ends up there. I'm going to move it down. There it goes. Yeah, I moved it down. So then I decided I'm going to make this little cluster down here at the bottom. And as I start building it, I go, oh yeah, this is looking good. I'm liking this. This is looking really good. Or at least in my head it is, you know. I'm happy with it. So I start building this little cluster down here. Yes, yes, that looks great. I don't know why I like that so much, but it's just like a little bunch of goodies, right? Little cameras and hearts and things, and it looks really cute. Okay, so I'm looking back through my stuff. I don't know that I pull anything else out except for some. I know I go get some enamel dots, and I have to get my little bin. So I set my wax paper off to the side, and I must be looking for my bin. Yep, there it is. You can almost kind of see my little bin right there. It's a little cloth bin. So I pulled out these enamel dots, and I'm looking for the right colors. You know, you just got the just right colors, and you have. Oh, there's Saturn again. Hello. See, she thinks she's going to sit right on it. And actually, you guys can't see this obviously because it's not on video. As I'm voiceovering here, my cat has now wandered over here and is sitting on my notebook because she thinks that she's covering up something I need. Yes, she does. Okay, so I've taken my little enamel dots. I'm going to put my little clusters of 3. Um, I know that's not terribly creative, I guess, in some ways, but it's the visual thing, right? The clusters of 3 in 3 spots. It looks great. So I'm going to put my little colors down. I do actually find in a moment, I'll find a little enamel kind of light greenish heart. I'm looking, I'm thinking, okay, what do I also want to put on here? Yeah, there we go. There's my colors there. And you'll see I kind of mix and match my enamel dot collections. They are not the same collection. And I think I may be like, okay, I don't know if I want one there. I I'm still dinking around with these dots. I don't know why. It's like, why does it take so long to figure out which dots? Um, you'll see in a moment though, I'll pull out this little green kind of enamel heart. It's light green. And initially I stick it in the center of that little wood grain circle. And I think I stick it over there because that wood grain is like the least patterny of the patterns. I look at my Chamel thinking I might use that, and I decide against it, I believe. And then I have these ones, and I'm looking at the pink, but then no, I don't want the pink. I end up finding a green one. Look at my elbow. Yeah, there we go. And so I started to stick it there, and I thought, oh, I'll stick it there. And why I stuck that in the center, I have no idea. I'm not a stick it in the center kind of girl. I'm always off to the side or a little. I'm an asymmetrical person. I'm not really a symmetrical person. So there we go. So I glue that down a little off center. I like that. It doesn't have any sticky to it, by the way. It's on this little sheet barely, and half the time I find them at the bottom of the thing. All right, so here is the close-up parts because I'm not going to be able to do the still. I'm not going to try the still this time. I'm going to see if it makes my videos the right size. But hopefully you can get a sense of what everything looks like. You can see the cork and the various different little pieces. Thank you so much. Y'all like and subscribe. There's my Instagram. Try and look there and see if there's a still. Thanks so much. Bye.